Greetings, people. How are you? Welcome to JCTV Africa. Today, we are looking at this issue that is developing, the issue of Wopo Chingono versus Antigakanje. Right, this is quite a lengthy subject, so I'm going to touch it and probably I'm going to do a series of it as we look at who is Taurai Kandishaya and what is he planning to achieve in the next coming days. The first thing that we want to look at is who is this man, Taurai Kandishaya or Antigakanje. This man in 2019, there is a video of him saying that citizens are going to meet citizens.
Wakumana kuoma kwakaita nyika kusvika patiri panapa tinoziva vakakonzeresa varida kuita natsuro magenga vekuti vakakonzeresa kuoma kwenyika vodzoka kwatiri macitizens voda kutinyepera kuti nhingi ndiye akaomesa nyika. Tinozviziva kuti illegal sanctions akaisirwa Zimbabwe ndo aomesa zvinhu kusvika nhasi ende vakanakumbira vachiripo vapenyu vakafa vashoma vacho varipo vapenyu ndo vaakudzoka vachiti kuoma kwaita zvinhu handi mastreets inodemonstrate. Let me tell you this guys, ndikutaura pamusoro pevanhu vakaita sana Mukwananzi. I am addressing vanhu vakaita sana Tendai Biti. We know you ende munozviziva mega ndimi makazviita zvinhu izvi mauda kufurira vanhu. Takakuregerai vanhu vachisafa kumashiro kwamwe vakafa kolera iri kuuraya vanhu. It's because of sanctions. Maroads edu anomira zvakanaka because hatigoni kurarama in isolation. Nhasi maakufurira vanhu vapinde mastreets. This time means why vanhu way it's going to be head on, citizen to citizen. Makajaira kupusisa isu macitizens muchitinyepera kuti nyika yaomeswa nanhingi imi muchiziva kuti ndimi saka tiri kusangana mastreets kana muchipinda but isi takawanda. Chamunofanira kuziva kuti vari kutambura vakawanda kupfuura imimi nekuti munoti kana maita modya nazvo. We have discovered it. Maticha achimacha vanopiwa mari, whoever anostrike munopa mari, imimi wacho mapedza kumachisa vanhu futi mobva manotambira mapei vamacha vaya havana chavanoona masuper. This time hatichada toda kumira nezviripo zvinoita kuti nyika ifambire mberi. Vana Mukwananzi ndo vanotaura nezvavo vanoita fuel that kuti chasangana mastreets. Asi chokwadi ndechekuti isi takawanda kupfuura imimi vanotambura vakawanda pane imimi munodya nekutambudza vanhu.
We are going to find each other on the streets. And surely what happened in January 2019, a lot of people were injured. A lot of people were maimed after Antigakanje had this stance. Where is he coming from? And then we also saw that after that he formed an organization that he said citizens for what. It is an organization that he said it is formed by the citizens. It has no political affiliation. It is just citizens. And to our surprise, we can see him with, with the president and with the director for information and publicity, Mr. Tafadzo Mugwadi. So you can see that he is from ZANU-PF, but he was denying that he is part of the party. And want to find out why is he after Mr. Wopo Chingono. Personally, I don't agree with some of the things that Mr. Wopo Chingono advocates for and what he says. However, 90% of what he says, I agree with. That is democracy. So it doesn't mean that if I follow Wopo Chingono, I should agree with everything that he says I should agree with. I should be able to question and to say his rationale and be able to form my own opinion. That's what democracy is all about. We are not just to be following a bandwagon of people. We are supposed to be critical thinkers and think and agree and disagree. Right? That is part of democracy. Why is he after Mr. Chingono? In 2020, Wopo Chingono was arrested for trying to instigate violence, for trying to promote violence because of his tweets that was exposing corruption. And not only that, he was charged for trying to topple the government. This was the same charge that was given to Mr. Job Scala for promoting violence. So the reason why this guy is after Wopo Chingono, he's after Wopo Chingono because if you remember this video, if you can go and watch it, I spoke about the wealth of Mr. Chingono and how he is making his money. So they've realized that probably those sources that they always say that Woposhingono is selling the country, Woposhingono is getting money from there, Woposhingono is getting money from there. They've realized that no, those leads are taking them nowhere. They cannot find trace of him receiving money from overseas or from American embassy or whatever the source that they can say. He is making his honest income from one, his journalistic skills, number two, from the investment, especially this one of goats, because in Zimbabwe right now, a lot of people who have been working in the workforce, they've lost their pensions. And you need, as an individual, to find a way of you getting your retirement or securing your retirement outside the sources of government like your NASA. Because right now people are getting something like $50 per month as their retirement, which is not even enough to feed a family. So how are we going to retire? So that is the reason why probably Mr. Chingono decided to invest in goats, so that if he retires from journalism, he can be able to have a living off journalism. You know, so that is my thinking. It's just my thinking. And from what he was telling us last year, and from his tweets and from his post about Bureau goats, you can see that it is a lucrative business. That's why a lot of white people, they are in it and they can manage it well. And that's how he's making his money. So they've realized that if we can cut off his wealth from there, we can cut off his source of income, then that might stop him from broadcasting. That might stop him from exposing corruption, because for you to be able to expose corruption, you need resources, you need money, you need to talk to people, you need to be connected online, and that can only happen if you have got the money. So that is another issue. As I was saying, is he not promoting violence? Yes, he's promoting violence, because he is asking for people to go and get their share. In other words, he's saying that the youths of Murewa must just go and loot this man's goats. It won't be surprising if that place is going to be vandalized, or people cut the fence and start to steal his goats. Is that not promoting violence? Is that not invading someone's property? Is this in our constitution or in our law, that someone can instigate people to go and take someone's property? Can you do that in the form of even the former president or anyone? Can he say that people must just go there at the Blue Roof and take whatever they want, because they were saying that he was surrounded by criminals? Can they say the same for Sevia Kasukwere or all those people that they said they were criminals that were surrounding the president? And then the other thing is Taurai Kandishaya a government spokesperson? Because surely, if there is anything that Mr. Chingono is doing, you should be taken to court. You should be taken to court. You were given this land by the government, and you did not abide by the statutes that were given to you. You are supposed to give these goats to the community, and the court then makes a ruling. And then if there is a sheriff of court, then that sheriff of court comes and takes Mr. Chingono's goats and say, the court has made a ruling, this is what is supposed to happen. So he's not a government spokesperson, he's just a ZANU-PF member. So what gives him the authority to go and harass Mr. Chingono's workers? So I would like to hear from you guys. What do you think about Mr. Kandishaya? Looking at his resume, what is his role in making sure that he targets Mr. Chingono? The reason why he's being targeted is because of his exposure of the cancer machines that are not there, exposure of government corruption that is not being addressed. And that means that a lot of people are going to suffer. Right now, we've lost a comedian Clive Chigubu because of no cancer working machine in our country. We are not saying that that could have saved him, but I'm not saying that cancer could have been avoided or cancer could have stopped. Cancer machine could have stopped Clive Chigubu from dying. What I'm saying is, at least if there are machines that can prolong life. Right now we see the coach of Netherlands, Mr. Louis van Gaal. He had prostate cancer, and through going through chemotherapy, that prostate cancer is gone. You know that prostate cancer also affected the former president, Robert Mugabe. And you'd go to Singapore because there was no cancer working machine in Zimbabwe for that to treat the president of a nation. He had to go to Singapore to seek that. But Louis van Gaal, a coach of a nation, is being treated in his own country. Why? Because they have the machines. So it shows you that if you get cancer today, you get a death sentence if you don't have the money. Patson Zamara died because of cancer. So it is a problem that we have such people like Taurai Kandishaya who are advocating for muzzling of a journalist from speaking out because they believe that is exposing their corruption. That's what this is all about. It's nothing to do with about the Mr. Chingono's gods or what community say. It has everything to do with his stance on corruption, because his stance on corruption is what is affecting them, because they can no longer loot and they can no longer take the money that they are supposed to take. And this guy called Kandishaya is doing that. But maybe let me just put a warning to him. This warning is like, you remember the likes of Kudzai Chipanga, who was, bootlicking and, praising Mr. Mugabe for, and saying a lot of things that Mr. Mugabe is going to be standing at in the gates of heaven, and all of that. My warning to you is, what is going to happen to you if these people that you are trusting, because for him to have those guts, it means that he has someone who is backing him. He has someone that is trusting. And mostly, the strength that he has, it is coming from a gun. And my question to you is, what is going to happen if those people that you are trusting, they die? Not only die, but they are out of power. How are you going to live with the same people that were terrorizing and trying to take their money, trying to take their source of livelihood? Just like what Zach is doing, they are going at the buses where people are trying to make a livelihood, buying stuff from South Africa and selling to the citizens, because that's the only way of employment that is available. What is going to happen in the event that next year, you as a party, you are out of power? How are you going to live the rest of maybe 30, 40 years when you have messed up your life like this, and you have caused so much mayhem? There are a lot of people that you have that were affected by January 2019 protest, and some of them, they got their children raped. It was because of you. How are you going to live with these atrocities behind you, your back, 5 years from now? So that is my warning. And it is a warning not only to him, but to everyone that is trusting. The Bible says that some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of our God. So who are you trusting? Are you trusting in those people that are pushing you? Those people, they are old. Very soon they'll be gone. And you'll be left with us, these young people, we are the ones that are going to be opening an opportunity for you. How are you going to live with yourself if you have messed up and you have become a bootlicker and tried to defend corruption with your teeth like this? Anyway, that's all that I have for you. Please, other videos that I've done, they are in the pinned comments. I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now.